Bo.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Excellent show as usual. I had a question. I believe it was Bob Chapman, maybe a half hour or an hour ago, mentioned something about not wanting to be in real estate. I was wondering if we could follow his train of thought on that, particularly since interest rates are very low on mortgages right now. And I'm talking more as far as rental properties, because I understand most people these days aren't going to be in a position where they can actually afford to purchase a home, but they will have to live somewhere. And I'm wondering if that might be a place where one might want to put their money, besides, obviously, the gold and silver. The second question I have, and I'll hang up and listen on air, is for the precious metal investments I've been making, obviously gold and silver primarily, and not really any of the other precious metals. The person I was dealing with mentioned that the 100-ounce bars were a good buy because of the volume of the purchase itself. And I thought that you guys had mentioned a while back that it might not be something you want to hold. It is in an IRA. I'm not physically holding it in order to take advantage of the tax advantage of having the metal purchased in an IRA account. That was the best bang for my buck, is the 100-ounce silver bars. And I was just wondering if anybody can comment on why that might not be something you really want to hold.
Are you talking about gold bars or silver?
The real estate question, you buy a dwelling for $100,000. It's going to get down another $20,000. Is it really worth it to go in and get a loan because you want to rent the place when you know you're facing the good possibility it could get down 20% in value? Commercial real estate,
but it would be more for cash flow than anything else. It would be a long-term
hold. It doesn't make any
hold.
difference. Why? Who would want cash flow or a low interest rate if you're going to lose money on your underlying asset? You don't do that. You have to.
But that would be looking at it
sure that the underlying asset is not going to fall in value. You want it to be sacrosanct. If it happens to go up, it goes up. But the point is, you paid $100,000. You want it to be worth $100,000, and then you figured out all your expenses and your business plan, and how much money you can make per month, and what the return is on a net basis. And if it's 67%, forget it. It's not worth it.
Right.
Now, if a commercial property's got another 40 or 50% to drop, that's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Okay, I was thinking more as far as the long-term aspect of it. Obviously, we are in a climate where the underlying asset would lose value according to market trends right now, but looking at it as a long-term investment, that wouldn't necessarily be the concern. It would be making sure, as you said, the rental income would be enough to cover the property plus the profit of, at a minimum probably 10 or 12%, to make it worth going through the effort. And then the other question on the 100-ounce bar, I will hang up this time and actually listen on air. Thanks very much, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Problem with 100-ounce gold bars is because, first of all, it's around about $30,000. So when you go to sell a 100-ounce bar, it automatically generates an IRS form because it's in excess of the $10,000 reporting requirement. Outside of that, gold is gold. If you don't have a problem with that, there's nothing wrong with 100-ounce gold bars, but just bear in mind that it is a reportable transaction.
That it?
Yep, pretty much it.
Okay.
And if it's sitting in an IRA, it's probably the best place to hold a 100-ounce bar, just simply because you're not going to be taking delivery of it. You're just using the gold for the appreciation factor. And obviously, because it's held at HSBC Bank, HSBC only accepts good delivery 100-ounce bars, so you're guaranteed of the authenticity of the bar. So selling it within an IRA is no problem, but it is reportable.
All right. While we have a sewer here, Robbie, what's the deal of the day?
German 20 marks. These minted between 1890 and 1913. Yes, the date always comes up somewhere. They contain 0.2304 ounces of pure gold. These are brilliant uncirculated condition. These are the Kaiser Wilhelm II, $249 a piece. Order 20 or more for $49.80, and receive a free subscription to the International Forecaster. Plus, you also get a fine ceramic mug courtesy of RBN. And I think you added something into the pot there. I wasn't sure what it was.
That was the book by James Talmage Stevens, delivered to your email. And that is one on preparedness. This is just recently redone by James Talmage Stevens. Good man. He's worked a lot of years helping people to prepare. Very good man, and very, very good information. So that is a bona fide bonus to the...
Who had ever thought we'd relive 1999 again?
Yeah. Only it isn't this time around. Well, it was kind of the runs on the bank, wasn't it? That's what they were afraid of.
I mean, the people that went through that learned... I certainly learned valuable lessons in self-sufficiency, that's for sure.
Mr. Chapman.
Sir.
Any parting shots here for our listening audience? You wonderful... Where's your crystal ball? Where do you hide that thing?
Well, I have an old hat I put over the top of it so people won't see it.
So, I mean, don't people ask when they walk in and that little thing, that little orb is glowing in the corner there?
No. They don't ask you, especially when they see the 45 tucked in my belt. But anyway, I think you may be looking at the last time to buy here. We're approaching 1,000. We break out over 1035 in a day. It's gone. And the right-hand shoulder of that reverse head and shoulders on gold, silver, and the HUI are going to go perpendicular. And goodness knows where it'll go. It might be 1,200, 1,500, 1,800 before it corrects. And I think this is maybe the last chance to buy cheap. We're going to get a little flack in here, but gold is really acting well and doing a little consolidating and resting. And I think we're going to move up here. I think the dollar is under tremendous pressure. And, again, your insurance policies with cash values, your annuities, the stocks in the stock market, excluding gold and silver shares, bonds, they should all be sold. You've been warned, and if you don't sell, you're suicidal.
Well, and Bob, I think about this in rational terms. I think of it as being an insurance policy. If somebody owns their home out there, after paying Guido, the international bankster gangster, and his friends here operating inside this country, on a fixed 30-year, look what you've paid for that house. You've paid way, way more than what it was ever worth. And look at it now. But you wouldn't ever think about not having homeowners insurance on it if the thing went up in flames and you were sitting there on your keister with no home. No clothes, no personal items, no nothing. So, folks, if there is any money left for you to dig up anywhere, convert it and do it now. Call Robbie at 800-691-7898. Take advantage of this deal. And Mr. Chapman, I'm afeared that you're right. Once it starts to break out over 1,000, Katie, bar the door and hang on tight. We'll be right back in the conclusion of this special broadcast.